Hello everyone. We're going to talk about the diabetes dilemma. Did you know that diabetes has reached epidemic proportions? Worldwide, 1 in 10 adults has diabetes. And here in the United States, more than 34 million people have diabetes, and many don't even know it. I'm an endocrinologist and we're going to demystify diabetes. We'll discuss what causes diabetes, what are the warning signs or symptoms of diabetes, and most importantly, what you can do to prevent and manage diabetes. There are several types of diabetes. Today we'll focus on type 2 diabetes. With type 2 diabetes, your body either doesn't make enough insulin or can't use insulin effectively, which is called insulin resistance. Insulin is a hormone made by the pancreas that allows sugar or glucose to enter your cells to be used for energy. Glucose is the primary source of energy for your cells, just like gas is for a car. Without insulin, glucose can't enter the cells, and the cells start to starve. When this happens, the body starts to compensate by making more insulin. But over time, the pancreas can't keep up with the demand for insulin, and this leads to high blood sugar. But why does the body start to resist insulin or not make enough insulin? That's the million-dollar question. Scientists don't have all the answers, but they think it has to do with genetics, weight, physical activity, and diet. Let's first talk about genetics. Genetics play a role in type 2 diabetes. If you have a family history of diabetes, you may be at higher risk for developing diabetes. But it's not just genetics that influence your risk. Having a body mass index, or BMI, greater than 25 puts you at increased risk of developing diabetes. There are several studies that have shown that the more overweight or obese a person is, the more insulin resistant they are. So if you have a high BMI or are overweight or obese, you should really focus on eating healthy and exercising regularly to prevent diabetes. Now, let's talk about physical activity. Several studies have shown that regular exercise improves insulin sensitivity. So if you exercise regularly, you may be able to prevent or delay the onset of diabetes. On the other hand, a lack of physical activity increases your risk of developing diabetes. So how does diet influence your risk of developing diabetes? Well, eating a lot of processed foods or added sugars increases your risk of developing diabetes. A diet high in saturated or trans fats also increases your risk. These types of diets cause chronic low-level inflammation in the body, and this inflammation increases your risk of developing diabetes. Several studies have also shown that drinking sugary drinks like soda or fruit juice increases your risk of developing diabetes. What are some of the early warning signs or symptoms of diabetes? Some people experience symptoms while others don't. Common symptoms include increased thirst and frequent urination, because when there's too much sugar or glucose in the blood, the kidneys try to get rid of it by filtering it out through urine. So you end up urinating more frequently. Another symptom is increased hunger. This happens because cells aren't able to get the glucose they need for energy, so they stay hungry. And this can lead to weight loss. Other symptoms include fatigue, blurred vision, and slow-healing sores or cuts. How is diabetes diagnosed? The gold standard for diagnosing diabetes is a hemoglobin A1C test. Hemoglobin A1C is a test that measures your average blood sugar over the past 2 to 3 months. A normal A1C is less than 5.7. A value between 5.7 and 6.4 is considered prediabetes, and a value of 6.5 or higher is considered diabetic. Other tests include a fasting plasma glucose test or an oral glucose tolerance test. What can you do to prevent diabetes? Well, we know that a lot of it has to do with lifestyle. So eating a healthy diet, getting regular exercise, and maintaining a healthy weight can go a long way in preventing diabetes. What is the best diet to prevent diabetes? Well, there are lots of different diets out there, but most experts agree that eating a diet high in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean protein is a good place to start, and you should also limit processed foods and added sugars. How much exercise should you get? Most experts recommend at least 30 minutes of moderate intensity exercise most days of the week. Is there anything else you can do to prevent diabetes? Well, if you have a family history of diabetes, you may want to consider getting your blood sugar checked regularly. You may also want to consult with your doctor about taking a medication called metformin. Metformin is a medication that's typically used to treat type 2 diabetes. But several studies have shown that people who are at high risk for developing diabetes and take metformin regularly may be able to prevent diabetes. I'm an endocrinologist, and remember, knowledge is power. The more you know about diabetes, the better equipped you'll be to prevent and manage it. So if you like this video, please share it with your friends and family. And be sure to subscribe for more health-related videos. Till next time, stay healthy, stay happy.